Hey guys, Alex here, and today's video, a teen defends a baby with a 62-year-old husband. So this is one of those massive age differences relationships where it just shows you that no matter how old you are as a man, even as a 62-year-old man, you can have a younger woman to have children with. So here you go. A teenager who married a granddad 43 years her senior has slammed trolls for calling her husband a child snatcher. Samantha Simpson, who's 19, first met her 62-year-old husband JR through mutual friends a year ago, and after months of talking, fell for him. There you go, see, it's all about how you make a woman feel. But when her family didn't accept her age gap relationship, Samantha moved in with retired JR in Kansas, United States. Quote, "When I saw JR, I was automatically drawn to how well presented he was and the fact that he was such a gentleman," Samantha, who's now looking to start a family with JR, said. So there you go, she likes a gentleman, and 99% of Western women treat gentlemen as simps, so yeah, she must be very, very hard to find. This girl is pretty much a diamond in the rough, so to speak. But then again, you know, we don't know anything about her other than what this article is saying. Quote, "He was very well spoken whenever we met, and also when we would talk over the phone and text. He was just something I had never found in a man before." So there you go, so that's them, that's the 62-year-old, and that's his 19-year-old bride, and she's American as well. She's not a foreign bride or anything like that. And I mean, the guy looks okay. He obviously keeps in shape whenever he's not some fat, out of shape, old codger, you know. So the girl is, I don't know, she looks cute. I guess she's still young, 19, whatever. Alright, let's keep reading. Quote, "I have dated men who have been closer to my age before, but they've been very immature and haven't known how to treat their partner. Being with JR is completely different. He's so mature and treats me like a queen. There's nothing that I would change about him in our relationship." The couple got engaged and sealed their relationship by getting married in January 8th in 2018, after dating for 1 year. So there you go. So I mean, yeah, he's in a decent shape. She looks nice in the dress, I guess. Well, there you go. Just shows you that quote unquote love has no borders or no age restriction. But despite how seriously they take their relationship, Samantha claims that they still receive daily abuse from strangers, calling her husband a child snatcher, pedophile, and mistaking him for her granddad. "When we're out in public, we have strangers mistaking us for granddad and granddaughter all of the time, and it can really upset me," she said. "But it's even worse when people call JR a child snatcher or a pedo when they see us hold hands or kiss in public." Well, that's the issue. You know, you want to date someone who's older. That's the kind of society that we live in. And I mean, normally I'd tell people, don't worry about what other people think. As long as you're happy, that's the main thing. As long as you're not hurting anybody or oppressing anybody, that's the thing. Quote, "There's not a moment when we're out and about that someone doesn't make a comment about a relationship, and it's just exhausting. We have had enough of a hard time with family and friends not accepting our relationship, that when strangers do it too, it just becomes too much." Yeah, well, I guess they would probably copy it every time. I mean, yeah, look, the guy looks alright, doesn't have a fat gut. That's it, you know what I mean? That's the message to all you guys out there. Keep in shape. Make sure you eat healthy food, whole foods, ditch junk food. Don't eat those fatty pizzas, greasy junk food, or just foods void of nutrition. I was a vegan for like 3 years, and I realized it was just messing up my mental health. I became depressed. I became really, really fatigued. I would just fall asleep in the middle of the day or during when I was watching a movie. So I decided to change my diet, and now I actually eat a lot of like red meat, but the way I do is I try to eat it pretty much mostly raw. So I would just sear the steak. I would go for a grass-fed organic beef steak. I would literally sear it on each side in a hot sizzling frying pan for like 30 seconds. Add a bit of Moroccan spices, and bang, voila, so it's nice and bloody inside. I started eating a lot of butter, whether it's with my oats or just I've started actually doing the whole bulletproof coffee as well, which is great. You take a, I've got an AeroPress coffee and Coca tea maker, so I put coffee beans, grinded coffee beans to that. Then add, I don't know, probably four dollops of butter. Pretty much like, yeah, 4 tablespoons of butter in there, and yeah, it'll add a little bit of stevia and it makes it delicious. And then I have a really great energy boost. But to make it even better, sorry to go off the tangent, I also take about 300 milligrams of L-theanine, which is the stuff that balances caffeine to L-theanine ratio. So caffeine makes you all hyperactive and it gives you energy. It's a stimulant, whereas L-theanine just basically relaxes you, and while still not making you sleepy. L-theanine is a natural substance that comes from green tea. So that's why when you drink green tea, or especially matcha green tea, which is the powdered form of green tea, you feel really awake, but there's no anxiety, there's no jitters, you feel very, very relaxed. So combining L-theanine with what do you call it, coffee, is amazing, and you can actually get it on eBay. It's like a supplement. So yeah, yeah, that's what you know. If you look after your health, that's what happens. You can date 19-year-olds when you're in your 60s. I mean, this is not obviously a common story, but if you're a Western man and you go to places like Southeast Asia, and I'm personally not into Asian women myself, or if you go to Eastern Europe, like places like Latvia, Russia, Poland, Ukraine, Lithuania, Estonia, then it's quite common for a 40-year-old or a man to be dating like a 23 or 24-year-old woman. It's just a normal standard there. Whereas in Australia and America, if you're like 40 years old and you're dating a 25 or 26-year-old, you already get labeled as a child snatcher, all that kind of stuff, which is just, I think it's just wrong. And I think, yeah, women in Southeast Asia and women in Eastern Europe realize that men who are more mature and older, they already have their pretty much shit together. They have more money, they have more security in their life, and they're pretty much established. That's why I think these women find it attractive to be dating an older man, because he can provide them with resources. And I'm not saying that they're like gold diggers, blah blah blah. Pretty much most women tend to go for men who have more resources. Just the facts of life. It's like that in humans. It's like that in nature as well. So you see birds go for the the strongest and the most prettiest bird. You see the lioness go for the strongest lion. It's just like that everywhere. In our society, it's just the more money you have, the more power you have. So there you go. Let's continue. Despite other people's opinions on their relationship, the newlyweds are now trying to have children. Quote, although JR had a child from previous relationship, we want to have children of our own and start a family, the student said. We are currently trying to get pregnant as we feel the time is right. We've just got married and we have our own place. So why wouldn't we want to? Hopefully, when we have a child, the abuse will stop, as we don't want to raise a child in an environment where they have to hear nasty slurs about their father. We hope that by sharing the story of our relationship, people will realize that it isn't a joke and we're very serious about one another despite our age gap and appearances. And see, the thing is, if the roles were reversed. If a 19-year-old boy, teenager, was dating a 62-year-old woman, then that's a bit of a problem, because obviously they can't have kids because she's far too old. Basically, After 45, it's pretty hard for a... No, even older, even younger than that. Basically, after 40, it's very hard for a woman to get pregnant. Naturally. So, yeah, that's why you see all those... Janet Jackson got pregnant at 55. Come on. She obviously didn't do it naturally. She got somebody else to do it for her, and yeah, that's how it is. It's a bit of a joke. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, 62-year-old man had if he's having a kid with a 19-year-old woman and she's all good for it, and he can provide for her, then hey, more power to him. One of my good friends, he's 53. He had a baby with a 34-year-old woman. You know what I mean? So as long as you're a man and you keep in a good shape, you eat right, you exercise, you lead an active lifestyle, then there is no issue for you to have kids well into your 60s. Just make sure that you do have the energy and resources to be able to look after that kid later on. And I mean, in the West, it's a very dangerous idea to have kids these days, just because they can, unless you got a really great woman, the divorce courts and family courts, they can turn around and just basically take it to the cleaners, where you end up with nothing and you don't even get to see your kids. But in different parts of the world, like in Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, where there is no bias laws against men, not yet anyway, it's still pretty good to start a family and get into that kind of stuff. So that's the thing. And I also saw another article, I don't know, like you can take it with a grain of salt, but it says men over 60 have healthier babies than teen fathers. Even if the man is in his 60s, the health risks for the child are no higher than average. In contrast, babies with fathers in their teens have more chance of arriving prematurely or dying before their first birthday. I mean, okay, well-known older fathers include Des O'Connor, who had his 5th child at 73, and Rod Stewart, who's had his 7th at 60. So there you go, guys. I mean, these kind of articles, because it comes from Daily Mail, like, take everything they give you with a grain of salt, because they're part of the agenda that wants to depopulate the world. So they want women to have kids in their late 30s or 40s, or not at all. They're like pro-abortion and all that kind of stuff. And obviously they want men to delay having kids right up until their 50s and 60s, because then it's already very unlikely that people will want to have kids. You know what I mean? Come on, let's face it, how many people want to have kids in their 50s or 60s? It's already like, nah. A child takes a lot of, basically, time, resources, and energy. So that's why I think in a perfect environment, in an ideal environment, you should have a kid when the guy is like, I don't know, 23, 24, and the girl is about 19, 20. I think that's a perfect age to start a family. But the way our society is, you know, the way it's so degenerate these days, they just want people to have less kids, especially if you're a white Westerner. If you're in a Western country and you come from a white background, they don't want you to have kids at all, because they're just wanting to import more refugees from Africa, from Middle East, and those type of places. But that's another topic altogether. So there you go, guys. Some motivation for you. So if you're a man in your older years, there are younger women out there who are particularly looking for men who are much older, much older. Alright, anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you support me on Patreon. Got the link in the video description. This channel's not monetized, and I rely on your support. And there's also a NordVPN link in the video description. So if you value your privacy online, you don't want hackers to steal your credit card information, things like that, then be sure to check out the link in the video description for NordVPN. And if you want to look like this man when you're 62 as well, definitely check out CocaTexpress.com. That's CocaTexpress.com, because Coca tea makes you lose weight very efficiently. It also gives you a natural energy boost. So even though you're losing weight and burning that fat, At the same time, you got this awesome energy to get you through the day. You can chew Coca tea with a little bit of bicarb soda. That's how they do it pretty much in South America. Or you can make Coca tea with AeroPress. Also adding a little bit of bicarb to extract the alkaloids, and it gives you a nice energy boost. But I personally prefer chewing Coca tea with a little bit of bicarb because it gives you that really good energy boost naturally, and you definitely don't want to eat for like a couple of hours, and you can always redose and yeah, continue for your day. It's like the best if you're doing some kind of work from home or in the office if you don't have to talk to people. I can sit there for like 3 to 4 hours just chewing a bit of Coke on the side and just getting stuff done on the computer. It's really good. I don't need to drink, I don't need to eat, I just want to work and to get my stuff done, and it makes you feel slightly euphoric as well. It makes you feel really good. Your whole well-being improves. It's almost like an instant cure for depression in that sense. And yeah, you get shit done. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember to smash the like button, and I'll talk to you soon. I can't upload to Men 101, so I'm uploading here.
Drop the bass, Kitty.
And if you want to protect your online privacy and help my channel out at the same time, visit drivenanddesired.com/NordVPN. If you sign up through that link, I will earn a small commission to keep this channel as well as my other projects like drivenanddesired.com going. Take us out, kitty.
I got money in the bank. Shawty, what you think?